So today I already started taking off this art masking fluid that we use to protect the image when I put it in the background. So to remove it after it's really dry, you get these, it's like a gum eraser. It's actually like crepe that you might find on the bottom of a shoe. And it's called a pickup, and it's made to take off this masking fluid. So that's what we have to do first to reveal Annabelle. So we need to look at our reference again before we start the curls, and you can see Annabelle's curls here throughout her body, and also on the mane. Her mane is actually curly, just comes down almost like dreadlocks. So we're gonna just take your pencil. I like to use a 6H pencil, and really you just let your hand make any little curls that you feel like making. These are just little guide points, but no set way to do it. And with her mane, just do some little light, almost like scribbles down. And her hair up here just kind of goes every which way too. So I'm just using these lines to remind me. Just little indications of curls, hair, fur. Okay, so we're going to use our trusty art masking fluid first, and as I mentioned before, always soap up your brush good, because I want to mask in her halter. Because I want to save that and paint that last. Again, I'm using an old brush, because eventually these brushes tend to get ruined, even if you keep them clean like I do. This is just to protect an area that I don't want to paint yet. And also I'm going to protect her eye, so I can paint that in later. I've decided that when I look at this photo, even though this is the whitest part of the picture, in my painting I'm going to make her head the whitest part of the picture. So, and that's going to be the center of interest. She's the center of interest in the painting, but that'll be the focal point on her. So that means I'm going to take a very watery combination of cobalt blue and Payne's gray, and I'm going to go over all parts of her, just very loose, very lightly. I mean, not much color. But I'm going to, in effect, I'm toning down the white areas. I'm toning it, it's still going to be white. I'm just toning it down in comparison to the areas that I want to feature on her head, which that's the one I want to be the lightest part of her body. Still all white, but this white's going to be less white. So I keep in mind that the light source is over here and it's coming this way, and it's going to hit the light is going to hit the top of her ear here and also over here, and then this side of her face here, and just right this part too. So everywhere else gets this light blue, which is like almost like a shadow, but I'm just toning down the parts of her that I don't want to be as white as certain parts on her face. And there's not much color here. It's a really light wash. So you may not be able to see it too well on the camera, but this part of her head is just the paper, untouched by this light wash. So there's whitest spot is here, here, up here, and here. And it's just a decision I made. The light's hitting her all over, but I just want these three things, or four things, to stand out. So I did my light wash with cobalt blue and Payne's gray, and I covered her everywhere except here, an area here, and highlights on her ears, because that's the area that I want to be the whitest, because I'm always keeping in mind where I want to take the viewer's eye, what's going to be the center of interest, the main focal point. And so I have to also always keep in mind where my light source is. So the light's not coming from over here or behind her, it's coming from here, from on this side. And I'm just featuring these white areas as a highlighted area. I'm doing that on purpose. And then next time we'll get into deeper shadow effects, and we're going to have to use some masking again. That I call it art masking fluid, comes in handy, because that's going to protect the lightest areas. And essentially we're going to be working, as you almost always do in watercolor, we'll be working from light to dark. Today's memo from your heart is actually a sacred ritual chant that a friend of mine reminded me of or told me about. It says, "We give thanks for unknown blessings already on their way.